My name's Dirk, and I work at the Australian National Centre for Ocean Resources and Security, also known as ANCORS, here at the University of Wollongong. I'm part of a multidisciplinary research group that involves scientists based here at the University of Wollongong, but also across international agriculture research networks. Importantly, part of our group also involves policymakers, practitioners, government personnel, and communities from the Pacific. And as a group, we share a common interest in understanding the role of fish in rural development in the Pacific. And much of our work is funded through the Australian government, and it's through the close collaborations with partners in the Pacific that our research tries to engage directly with practice. So essentially learning and adapting as we're doing research and testing new things in the field. So very much doing Pacific-led research for the pressing issues of the region. So tackling these kind of issues requires us to work at multiple levels. And we've got researchers engaging on grassroots. We've engaged with over 750 communities across the entire region over the last 10 years, but also working at higher policy levels. We've got researchers providing technical input that underpins some of the pivotal policies in the region. The 22 Pacific Island countries and territories to the east of Australia cover a massive area, some 28 million square kilometers. And if we understand that just 2% of that is land, it starts to sketch a picture that shows the importance of the marine environment and fish for Pacific peoples, for income, for food security, and also cultural identity. But besides that, it's also a really important fallback resources in times of hardship. So I'd like to tell a little bit about some of the key work areas that we as a group of researchers undertake. And one of the vexing issues in coastal fisheries in the Pacific, but also globally, is having good information to inform the management and use of resources. If we've got good information, we can evaluate and we can improve our management, we can promote local learning, and we can work together to develop new innovations for implementation. To address this issue, we've been working with our partners in the Pacific to develop a community-based fishery monitoring program. And we work utilizing this larger platform that utilizes artificial intelligence technology, where this system is able to identify particular species and also estimate length and weight of fish from photographs that are taken by fishers of their catch. And this is a real game changer in the sector. We're seeing communities using this information to provide new measures of management based on the observations and the trends that they're seeing in the data. And we're seeing some other communities see new species return which they haven't seen for years. So a really important and exciting area of work, and it's encouraging to see that we're seeing other Pacific Island countries pick up this technology and institute it as part of their national fisheries programs. Another really important area of work is understanding what happens to the fish after they're caught. So seeing where fish travel to and how they get there from landing sites to upland communities. And we have researchers in our group that are working with municipal governments and middlemen in Timor-Leste to understand what are the factors that are contributing to spoilage of fish as they transit from the coastal areas to these upland communities, which are vulnerable and undernourished. And with that understanding, it gives us information on how we can most usefully intervene and have measures to prevent such spoilage and to ensure that the fish that land in upland communities is as fresh and as nutritious as possible. And this is really important for national food security targets of Timor-Leste. In staying with the framing of fish as an important food source, we also have researchers in our group that are working with large data sets across the region. So data sets around where and how food is traded and the consumption of fish. So what are people eating and how do people acquire food? Now, these large data sets are often aggregates of several data sets, and that's why there's often errors or inconsistencies in it. So our researchers are meticulously curating these large data sets and cleaning them out to make them usable for application to policy and decision making. And currently, some of these major data sets are the engine behind evidence-based policy development in the region. So all in all, if you look at the collaborative and the kind of embedded approach that we apply to our research, we're starting to see new ways to address some of the real pressing current and foreseeable challenges that Pacific Island people are facing. And while this is all in the context of the Pacific, a lot of these issues are very relevant to the global community. Issues of climate change and the challenges and impacts that we're all dealing with are important to us all. And so a lot of the lessons that we're learning in the Pacific are very relevant to us as a global community. If anything that I've talked about today is of interest to you, or if you simply want to know more about who we are, where we work, and what we do, please reach out on the link below, and we'd be happy to share any more information.